On today's video, we'll be discussing how to install a RaceChip on a BMW S55 motor available across many of the M models. Before installing the RaceChip, please wait until your engine is cool enough to work on. Put your parking brake or emergency brake on. If your vehicle is equipped with an alarm system, please disable it. Pop the hood, roll up the windows, close the doors, and press the lock button on your key fob and move that key fob 30 feet away. You're gonna wait about 10 minutes after for all the electricity to clear from underneath the hood. On the S55 motor, the RaceChip will connect to the boost pressure sensor here with the A connection, and the B connection will go to the manifold pressure sensor located down here underneath the intercooler. First up, we'll be showing you how to install the A connection onto the turbo boost pressure sensor. So be on the driver's side, right on the side of the intercooler here, nice and easy to get to. Suggest using a small flathead screwdriver to remove the sensor plug. You'll notice that on the RaceChip female end of the harness will have a smooth side and a side with a mounting tab. We'll want the locking tab on the OEM plug to go onto the smooth side of the RaceChip wiring harness. So again, the locking tab on the same side as the smooth side on the RaceChip harness, just like that. And then we'll take the RaceChip male end. The gray locking tab will go towards the outside of the car. Go ahead and put it right onto the OEM sensor that you just unplugged. Make sure you get it on there. And press the gray locking tab until it snaps. Now to get to the B connection on the manifold pressure sensor down below, we're first going to remove the black rubber gasket from the back side of the motor to easily access the manifold pressure sensor. Be very careful. You're going to just gently pull away. Don't want to tear anything. We're just simply removing a little side of it so it's easier for us to reach. Next up is the B connection to the manifold pressure sensor, and it's located behind the intercooler. To remove the sensor plug, we're first going to press down on the black locking tab on the back side of the sensor and gently pull backwards. Now with the sensor plug removed, we're going to take the female end of the RaceChip wiring harness. Again, same thing as the A. The locking tab will go to the smooth side of the female end of our harness. So with the sensor back here, we'll plug into the female end of the RaceChip harness, and we want to make sure we plug it in until it clicks to lock. Then we'll connect the male end of the RaceChip harness onto the sensor plug itself. As soon as you get it plugged in, make sure you press in the gray locking tab until it snaps. If your application comes with the C connection on the harness, you'll plug into the camshaft position sensor right here on the front side of the motor. To unclip the plug from the sensor, grab a small flathead screwdriver or a pick, pull out. And then we will take the side with the small locking tab on the OEM sensor and plug that into the RaceChip female end of the harness until that locking tab is inside the little hole right there. And then for the male connection of the RaceChip harness, we'll make sure that locking tab is towards the driver's side and plug that right into the sensor. Next up is to install the 4 mounting pins on the RaceChip itself. The really nice thing about these mounting tabs is that there actually is a locking tab on each side of each pin. So if you ever need to remove the RaceChip for any reason, like service or warranty work, instead of having to cut the zip ties, you can simply press the locking tabs to leave the zip ties and mounting pins in place, but remove the RaceChip. The other nice thing about these two is that you can actually take the zip ties themselves and mount them up and down or left and right. In this application, we've actually routed the RaceChip wiring harness around the rubber gasket on the back side of the motor, and we're going to mount the RaceChip right here next to the intake. Next on the installation is to remove the deactivation plug. Now it's very important that you hang on to this deactivation plug. If you need to revert the car back to stock or to remove the RaceChip, you're actually going to put the deactivation plug in place of the RaceChip. So I'd throw this in your glove box or maybe your center console. Then we're going to install the RaceChip. You're going to plug it in. It's very important the first time that we do actually plug the RaceChip in. If you have the GTS, you get no LED lights, or if you have the RS or S, there's not a green LED light. The first time we install the unit, we want to make sure there's no power underneath the hood. Using the longer of the supplied zip ties, we're going to mount the RaceChip in place. Last but certainly not least, zip tie the RaceChip into place. Last but not least is to cut the excess ends off the zip ties to make it look OEM. Start in the default setting of the RaceChip for the first time you test drive the car. If everything works great, you can then move the RaceChip to the next level up. Be aware that the car needs some time to adapt before releasing the full performance upgrade. Now, get out, drive, and enjoy your RaceChip.